Some Tuesday news, posted by Clare at KTFA. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. KTFA, Clare. Al-Sudani announces the imminent formation of a directorate concerned with the affairs of the Iraqi community in the world. May 14, 2024, Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani announced, on Tuesday, the imminent formation of a directorate in the Prime Minister's office concerned with the affairs of the Iraqi community in the world. This came during his meeting with the delegation of the General Synod of the Evangelical Seventh-day Adventist Church. Headed by Pastor Magdal Iser Schultz, Assistant President of the Church in the world, and his accompanying delegation. Al-Sudani explained that the goal of forming this directorate is, in order to maintain communication, i.e., the Iraqi community, with their country, and to benefit from their experiences in construction and reconstruction. The Prime Minister also expressed the government's readiness to cooperate in reopening the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Baghdad, as part of its care for the members of this sect and other sects. Clare. Netrevin Barzani makes a new visit to Baghdad to meet with Al-Sudani. May 14, 2024, the official spokesman for the presidency of the Kurdistan region, Dilshad Shihab, said that Netrevin Barzani, president of the Kurdistan region, is visiting Baghdad today, Tuesday. Regarding the visit program, Shihab indicated in a statement published on the official website of the regional presidency today that President Netrevin Barzani will meet with the federal Prime Minister of Iraq, Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, to discuss Erbil-Baghdad relations and issues of common interest. At the end of last April, the president of the region made a visit to the federal capital, Baghdad, and held meetings with the presidents of the republic, the ministers, and a group of political party leaders. He also participated in a meeting of the State Administration Coalition. Clare. The automobile trade announces a new mechanism to open production lines with international companies. May 14, 2024, the General Company for Automotive Trading revealed today, Tuesday, that it is adopting a new mechanism to open production lines with international companies, while indicating a move to equip the departments with vehicles and equipment. The Director General of the company affiliated with the Ministry of Commerce, Hashim al-Sudani, said in an interview with the Iraqi news agency, followed by Al-Iqtisad News, that the General Company for Automotive Trade seeks to equip state departments with machinery, equipment, and vehicles of various types and from well-known international origins. He added that contracts were concluded with state departments, in addition to participation in tenders announced by the ministry, indicating that the company's future plans aim to achieve real partnerships with the manufacturer directly and not with the middle merchant or agent, so that the company is the official representative of the manufacturing companies. Inside Iraq, visits were made to automobile factories in Brazil and Europe, in addition to Spanish, Italian, and French companies. He pointed out that the company's plan is moving towards agreement with these companies and seeking to open production lines in agreement with the Ministry of Industry and Minerals and opening factories to produce these machines and equipment inside Iraq, especially after the decision to implement the development path, as it will open horizons and facilitate trade, and Iraq will be the focus of the world's attention. Clare. Iraq increases its possession of gold by more than 3 tons, bringing the total to 145,661 tons. May 14, 2024, Iraq's gold reserves witnessed a noticeable increase during the month of February 2024, as International Monetary Fund data showed that Iraq has increased its possession of the precious metal by 3,079 tons, bringing the total to 145,661 tons. This increase indicates Iraq's continued strategy to diversify its foreign reserves and enhance financial and monetary stability in the long term. Gold is a traditional safe haven for investors, especially during periods of economic and geopolitical uncertainty. This step by Iraq comes at a time when the world is witnessing a rise in gold prices, as the price reached its highest level in its history last month, above $2,400 per ounce. Iraq is among the countries that possess large amounts of gold reserves in the Arab region, as it ranks 4th after Saudi Arabia, Algeria, and Morocco. In general, this increase in Iraq's gold reserves is considered a positive indicator of the health and strength of the Iraqi economy. Clare. Sudanese directs to hold an extraordinary session next Sunday to discuss the 2024 budget schedules. May 14, 2024 today, Tuesday, Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani directed that an extraordinary session of the Council be held next Sunday to discuss the federal budget schedules for the year 2024. This came during his presidency of the 20th regular session of the Council of Ministers, during which the general situation in the country was discussed. And a number of vital files included within the government's program were discussed, in addition to considering the topics on the agenda and taking the necessary decisions regarding them. A statement from al-Sudani's office, a copy of which was received by NRT Arabic, stated that the Prime Minister directed that an extraordinary session of the Council be held next Sunday, May 19, to discuss the federal budget schedules for the year 2024. He directed the formation of a committee headed by a representative of the Ministry of Planning and membership of representatives of the Ministry of Finance, the Council of Advisors, the General Secretariat of the Council of Ministers, and the Federal Public Service Council, which will re-examine the draft Public Service Institute law and submit its recommendations within 1 working month to the Council of Ministers to take the appropriate decision. Based on the directives of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, issued in February 2023, the Council of Ministers approved proceeding with the procedures for evacuating and opening the military zone, known as the 5th Division, in the city of Kademia, and converting its land into recreational, educational and cultural facilities, hotels, hospitals, health and medical centers, sports stadiums, and a defense center. The city and cities for visitors, according to an integrated architectural vision, and a special conference will be held on this topic. And specialized international companies will be approved to implement these vital and important projects, which will serve the city's people and visitors. As part of implementing the government's approach, which aims to restart lagging projects and address the problems and obstacles they face, the following was approved. Firstly, changing the name of the project, Rehabilitation of the Martyr Othman al-Obeidi Hall, to become Rehabilitation of the Martyr Othman al-Obeidi Hall, Method of Implementation, Secretariat, and increasing the total cost of the project. Secondly, increasing the total cost and the amount of reserve for the project, constructing the second corridor of the road leading to the Tarmaya district, with a length of 15 kilometers. Third, increasing the total cost of the project, equipping, installing, inspecting and operating the Al-Kala Secondary Mobile in Al-Kala district. Fourth, creating a component, the remaining works for the project to expand the tourism department building in Holy Karbala, the center, in the field of the educational sector, and in order to speed up the process of printing textbooks and provide them at the required times. The Council of Ministers approved the recommendations of the Audit Committee regarding the printing of textbooks as follows. 1. Authorizing the Ministry of Education to assign Al-Nahrain General Company to complete the work of printing school books and notebooks, and excluding it from the contracting methods stipulated in the instructions for implementing government contracts, 2 of 2014, before holding any tender, in order to exploit its full production capacity and rely exclusively on its machines, provided that the aforementioned ministry shall provide full support to the company from the Central Education Fund to Al-Nahrain General Company in providing the necessary amounts to purchase the raw materials involved in the printing work at the specified times, in a way that ensures the completion of contracts from the company, in light of the instructions and controls, and is spent from the fund's funds. 2. Referring the remainder and surplus capacity of the Al-Nahrain General Company, using the public tender method, to the public and private sector printers at an amount of 50% for each, provided that a schedule worth 2 billion dinars is allowed for each company, without being restricted by the number of titles, and that the books reach the students within the timings determined before the start of the school year. 3. Obliging the Ministry of Education to adhere to the financial allocations included in the 2024 estimates tables upon contracting. And the Ministry of Finance must provide funding to ensure the Ministry of Education's commitment to fulfilling its contractual obligations and delivering books to students within the specified times before the start of the academic year. 4. Continuation of implementation of Cabinet Resolution 23,424 of 2023, so that the period between referral and signing of the contract will be 5 working days for textbook printing contracts, without the need to issue a warning to the printing press that is reluctant to sign the contracts. The Council of Ministers approved the following. 1. The Ministry of Oil contracted with the Military Industrialization Authority to purchase machinery from its financial allocations, provided that the amount required for purchase, amounting to 76.150 billion dinars, would be divided among its extractive companies benefiting from the service of the Energy Police Directorate, in 2 stages. The first phase, 43.65 billion dinars. The other stage, 32.5 billion dinars, regarding the request for an M4 Babylon rifle weapon, will be considered later. The Ministry of Oil will gift these mechanisms to the Ministry of the Interior for the purposes of the tasks of the Energy Police Directorate, in accordance with the provisions of the instructions to facilitate the implementation of the General Budget Law, as an exception to the requirement that these goods be not purchased during the current year, and surplus to the need of the concerned department, according to the authority stipulated in the aforementioned instructions above. 2. Excluding profitable, self-financed oil companies from work, from the decision of the Committee for the Restructuring of Public State-Owned Companies No. 1 of 2024. Provided that the Ministry of Interior is responsible for the integrity of the procedures, the formation of opening committees, the analysis of bids, and the preparation of estimated costs for the subject of the research decision. A vote was also taken to stop the exceptions granted to the Ministry of Electricity pursuant to Council of Ministers Resolution 24049 of 2024, and any text that conflicts with this decision shall not be implemented. The Council of Ministers reviewed the financial data tables for the state's account, based on the provisions of the amended Federal Financial Management Law 6 of 2019. The Council also reviewed the annual report for the year 2023 of the Iraq Assets Recovery Fund, based on the provisions of Article 7 of the amended Iraq Assets Recovery Law 9 of 2012.